This is Sick and Wrong, America's #1 source for antisocial commentary. Brought to you by the Reach Around Foundation.
This is Sick and Wrong #2. I'm your host, D. Simon.
I'm Lance Wackerly.
And that's Lance Wackerly. Welcome to another exciting Sick and Wrong. You know, this is #2, Lance.
Of 392.
Of 392. I was wondering, the Reach Around Foundation, they are hosting this and they're sponsoring us. Why 392? That's a lot of isn't that a lot of podcasts? Are they really expecting this show to like pick up, take off?
Well, I think they just want their money's worth.
I don't know, dude. I just
Each
don't
one
know.
of these is worth like what? Maybe a couple cents.
It's weird because I was trying to find some sort of funding or someone to at least pay the hosting fees for the show, and we finally stumble upon Bernard Russell or whatever the hell his name is at the Reach Around Foundation, and I don't even know what they do.
Dude, you got to remember his name. He called the other day and he was pissed off because he said you didn't even know who he was when he called.
Wasn't it Bob Russell, Bob Evans?
It's Brant Russell.
Brant Russell at the Reach Around Foundation, and he's like really into this podcast. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, he might be listening, and he's going to cut the funding, so let's just get on with it.
Okay, well, I just want to say thank you to the Reach Around Foundation for hosting this show, and this is podcast #2. Thank you, people. As always, I want to just hype the website. Go check it out. We're going to have all the podcasts up there. sickandwrong.blaring, BLARING, foghorn.com. Once again, sickandwrong.blaringfoghorn.com. Don't even bother putting in the www because it just won't work. You can also email us at sickandwrongpodcast@hotmail.com. Email us and send us some news.
Email us and be like, I can't find your website, and we'll email you back and say, don't put in the www, asshole.
Did you not even going to be able to hear the voice, though, in email?
I'll just imagine it like that.
Just imagine it like that.
That's how I imagine all my emails sound.
So, how was your weekend, Lance?
It was pretty good. Long MLK weekend.
That's the one thing. Thank goodness. Thank God for Martin Luther King.
Right. We
get that day off.
Paid tribute to him by how I always do, and I got drunk for an extra day on
Drink a 40
on Sunday night. No, I didn't.
I drank a 40.
Sadly, I didn't.
I did. I went out and got some Colt 45, and I was like, "Thank you, Mr. King."
That's racist.
Is that racist? I didn't mean it that way. I was just thank you for having the day off. Seriously,
Hey, there's nothing wrong with Colt 45. It does work every time.
Yep, Billy D. Williams drank it. He did. Well, anyways, this weekend I went down to the Monterey Bay, to Monterey, the city. I'd never been there before.
How was that? Anything sick and wrong going on down there?
Nothing too sick and wrong, really. It's just kind of a boring white city. In fact, I was wondering, do they even allow black people in Monterey? Because I didn't see any. And that Pebble Beach area?
That's what the sharks are for, to keep them out.
Really?
So they don't come by water.
Yeah, it was just funny because I was like, this is like the whitest community I think I've ever seen.
They are great white sharks, right?
But, I don't know. Like, you have to pay to drive through, like, an area of the Pebble Beach or something.
How come there's no great black shark? It's because the whitey's trying to keep the brother down.
If Martin Luther King was alive today, there would be a great black shark out there. Guaranteed. Well, anyways, I went up there. It was like a romantic weekend with a new lady. And,
so something sick and wrong was going on?
Something sick and wrong did happen that I want to talk about. That's the whole point of me bringing this up. But, it was kind of like the first major getaway that me and the new lady had. And we went down to this hotel. It was good. It was a good time. We stayed at this nice hotel, a coastal view, like right on the ocean, balcony. There's a hot tub in there. Anyways,
you really know how to treat a lady.
Oh, yeah. When I take a lady out, I take her out for a good time. And we had fun, a lot of boning action, a lot of drinking going on. But something happened, something occurred that I just feel I need to address on the Sick and Wrong show. I don't even know if I should consider this sick and wrong. That's why I want to get your input on this. So, anyways, in the heat of lovemaking, and I'm not going to go into too much detail here because
I'm about to puke.
Yeah, I just don't want to share this with you. I mean, you just took a shit. But anyways, So anyways, we're sitting there, we're like, going at it. Totally, I'm like on top of her, going at it. All of a sudden, she's like, goes down, pulls out, I pull out, she goes down, starts giving me oral, which I enjoy, but it was weird because I'd already been in her. And then I come out and
you just tell me
oral.
when it's supposed to get sick because I'm already disgusted.
Okay, you shouldn't be disgusted. This is a normal sex act between a man and woman.
Yeah, but it's you, and I'm just sitting here
Okay,
looking
all
at
right.
you. But...
Don't try to visualize
So
it
she's
as
going
me.
down on you.
But I had already been inside of her, and anyways, I pulled
That's a little
out.
bit sick,
I
guess.
thought that was kind of weird. I was like, maybe she likes to taste
But
herself.
it's still cool. I mean, being a guy,
I thought it was
I
kind of
wouldn't
cool.
say it
no,
was
I was
sick.
just like, sweet, you give me a little time to like relax. Because it allows me to like recharge or something. So she's going down on me. She's got it in her mouth, and then I feel a finger on my taint, and I'm like, I kind of like this. I like the rubbing of the taint. Then that finger is moving down, moving south.
Moving south.
She put a finger in my butt.
Oh boy!
She put a finger in my
Nelly.
butt. I didn't know what to do. I was just kind of like, whoa, what are you doing? I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, what? You don't like that? Like, just kind of, she's totally shocked. Like, she was like, well, you don't like that? As if like all guys like that. I mean, this is like the first time that she'd ever done anything like that with me.
I have to say that's never happened to me, and I'm very thankful for it. But I feel like if it were to happen to me, like there'd be an injury, either myself or not that I would like beat the hell out of her.
What are you gonna do?
No, nothing like that.
Force out a big log on her or something.
Well, that might happen, but no, like my hips would just immediately buck like 3 feet off the bed, and like she would go flying, and then I would get like a sprained hip or something,
or maybe your pelvis would hit her face really quick, break her nose or something.
That's like a sensitive button.
Well, it was funny. It was a total shock to me. But it's weird. It's kind of like a double standard because I always do that to girls. I love to stick my finger in their ass.
Yeah, but they're used to having something inserted in them anyways. I feel like that's not apples to apples.
But no, it really isn't. And it's
but it's like, come on. It's in this hole right next door. They can talk to each other.
The holes are close together.
The one hole can tell the other hole that it'll be all right. You got nobody down there to help you out.
No, seriously. And it's like, and the funny thing is, it's like, my whole body, I was just kind of like, whoa, what are you doing? I was completely shocked, and she like kind of stopped, and she was like, what do you mean? You don't like it? As if like, and I was just like, no, don't go there again. I didn't mean to reprimand her, but
did you rub her face in it?
That was later. No, but I was still just kind of like, I wonder if this happens a lot. Like,
bad girlfriend.
Bad girlfriend. Don't do that again. You're gonna rub your face in it again. But no, I was wondering, like, how many guys do you know?
I mean, I've definitely heard of it. I just don't feel like it's something that girls should be doing without announcing it.
Well, you know what I wonder? Is it a prelude to pegging?
Obviously.
So that means that this girl...
No girl's going to go right to pegging, so this is obviously...
So I wonder... That's what I kept wondering, like, the whole time. I'm like, so is this girl into pegging her boyfriend?
Well, the real question is... Because we're gonna have to move on to the stories, the actual sick and wrong stories. But I think the real question on everybody's mind out there is, so it surprised you, but did you like it?
It was too much of a shock for me really to get into it, and I was just kind of like, I just don't like things going into my asshole.
So she didn't like hold you for a couple minutes and then
afterwards and just kind of cuddle me and like help me through it,
ease you back into it.
I didn't feel well, I guess I did kind of feel violated. Yes, I did feel violated.
What else would you feel?
Well, I didn't feel warm and comfortable. It was just kind of weird. I was just like, and the thing is, it was completely innocent on her part. I don't think she was trying to freak me out. I think she was like, oh, yeah, this is going to take him to the next level, this index finger in his rectum. But I was just kind of like, no, don't do that. But it's weird. I wonder how many guys, like, I know we have a
So she's never going to try it again? I mean,
I think
have you established that?
Well, after I rubbed her face in it 3 times, I really think she's not going to go down there again.
That's what you got to do for girlfriends, man, when they do stuff like that.
Well, the funny thing about it is,
children.
like, so, I mentioned before that, that I had to shit and I ended up going in the hotel lobby. So I didn't even shower between this time. So she stuck her finger in a dirty butthole. And that's another thing that freaked me out about it.
Post-shit, though. I mean, pre-shit, if you'd been holding it in, that would have been a real story.
There was no turtle coming out, but I'm just saying, it was just like, I had just, I wiped down there probably about an hour ago, so she probably had like a dingleberry or like a piece of toilet paper on her fingernail. And plus, girls have fingernails, I mean, there's just so many issues with this. Yeah, there's so many issues with this.
Well, my whole thing is... kind of even just giving the blowjob, after even just getting a normal blowjob, you're making out with the girl and it's like you're tasting your own dick. But then with the finger in the butt, are you kind of like, could you wash that hand or put a glove on it or something till we're done? Because like she's got it all over your face and everything, like Dirty Sanchez. I mean, I don't know.
Well, she didn't take the finger out and stick it in my mouth.
But does she keep it at a neutral corner of the bed for the rest of the time?
No, you know what I did? I just grabbed her hand, brought it to the sink, and then washed the finger. And I was just like, no, don't you ever do that again.
Okay. Just final word. That's what you did because you were freaked out. But what if that was something that you were into, and she does that, and then you're still going at it?
Does she wash the finger?
Where does the hand go while you finish up your session?
Well, you continue the lovemaking. I don't know.
Because you could get a nasty infection or a rash from,
You might be, but isn't that how you get hepatitis?
Can you get it from your
consumption?
Own poo?
From your own poo? I don't know.
We don't know anything.
I'm just not into people. This is actually a good thing for the audience. Send us an email, sickandwrongpodcast@hotmail.com, and let us know your insight into this whole finger in the butt thing.
Yeah, I don't want a bunch of emails from just dudes who are into it and want to like get off by writing us a dirty email. But if you really have insight into it, and I don't know, maybe techniques that'll ease Dave into this new realm of erotic pleasure, that'd be good.
I just wonder, do you think she'll try it again? Probably not.
Well, like I said,
I think I freaked out
If you rubbed her face in it, she probably won't. That usually works. That usually works with my girlfriend.
On that note, let's just drop it.
Okay.
And never bring it up again because it's kind of gay.
Well, we need to get on to the bout.
The purpose of the show is it's kind of a duel. It's kind of a bout. Lance and I find the most disgusting, repulsive, disturbing, weird, unsettling news articles of this past week. And in a contest here, we try to find out who has the most repulsive article. And whoever ends up winning, and you're invited to vote, wins a case of beer. So this week, I know Lance has a good one. I have a pretty good one. And, yeah. And you can vote at sickandwrongpodcast@hotmail.com and let us know which one article disgusted you enough. I think that might work.
Or maybe if you have some more insights into this story that we didn't get to, that would be a good reason to also.
Or maybe if you're a part of this story. Wouldn't that be cool?
Right.
A character in this story actually writes and tells us what really happened.
And wants to sue us? That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Well, Lance, why don't you start off? Because I started off last time. And
it's only fair.
Yeah, I kind of want to let you go, have the first go at it here, and yeah, let's go.
Okay,
Article number 1.
Bing, bing, bing. Here we go. This is off of a new website that I found called mossnews.com, which I guess is news from Moscow.
So this is an international article.
This is an international article, and I'm one of those people who thinks foreigners are funny, and I think Eastern European, and I guess Russia is Asia.
Russia's kind of like Eastern
Europe between there. I think that's the funniest part of the globe as far as just weird people doing strange things.
What about Germany?
Well, Germany's right on the border of Eastern Europe. There,
okay,
right?
It gets into it. I see that.
All right. So, from Moss News, a little story out of Mother Russia, very large country, used to be communist. I guess they're pseudo-communist now. So the story's about this guy, 35-year-old tractor operator. That sounds like a communist, occupation to me. But
tractor operator, very proletariat. Proletariat.
Maybe the tractor operators made the conversion to capitalism. I don't know.
What the hell do they plow there? The fields of vodka?
Yeah, potatoes.
Potatoes.
What's borscht made of? Radishes or
beets?
Right. So this tractor operator, Igor Namyatov, sounds like a Russian name there.
Igor.
Has undergone surgery to be relieved of what he had initially been diagnosed as a tumor. But turned out to be the embryo of his unborn twin brother.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus Christ. Wait a second. This is a guy that had the so this is almost like that movie Basket Case.
Have you ever seen the movie Basket Case?
Yes. This is like Belial.
This is almost even more disgusting to me because in the movie Basket Case, the kid gets his, fetal Siamese twin brother removed at a very young age, and he carries it around in a basket.
Well, it was on his side, though. Didn't they cut it off? Remember it had like 2 little arms and a mouth?
Right, but this guy's 35.
Oh,
and he just thought he had a tumor.
Where was this tumor?
All right, let's go further into the story
Igor's
here.
Surprise tumor. 35 years. This guy probably never got laid.
The quote-unquote little brother first made himself known when Igor was 15. At that time, the boy complained about pains in his back, but doctors played down his complaint, saying it was only a harmless fatty tumor. That's how they do healthcare in communist Russia.
I was about to say, this would never happen in this country.
It's just a tumor. Quit your bitching.
Only like South America or right. communist
Russia. Like, they have to ration out the healthcare. But so he just basically sucks it up like a good communist,
So like throughout his teens, throughout his 20s, he's got this big growth, this tumor in his back.
I guess the back pains went away at one point, because it says 20 years later the pains came back, the back pains, and he's like, maybe now they're not communists anymore. He's like, I'm going to give this capitalistic healthcare a try, or whatever. They have socialism over there now.
But how big was this tumor?
20 years later, the pains came back. The doctors decided to operate at once, so I guess they've become a little kinder and gentler over there. They were genuinely surprised to see that the tumor was, in fact, an embryo with little legs and hands.
Oh, my God. So there are hands growing out of it?
They must not have stuck out. They must have had to cut into it and seen them. But you'd think there'd be, like the amorphous forms. Like, that people would be like, is that a foot? Or is he maybe... I mean, how many times do you look at your back? I never look at my own back.
Yeah, but if you had, like, a big tumor cyst-like thing on your back, wouldn't you be like, I might go get this checked out?
If you have the cuticle file, scissors, nail clippers out on your back, you should probably go... It might not be a tumor. If you have to clip your tumor's toenails...
Yeah, if your tumor, if there's like a hand growing out of my back, I'm going to go get that checked out.
If you're a lady and you're putting nail polish on your tumor, it might not be a tumor.
So do you think this was a hinge? It almost gives like a new term to dry humping, like a new meaning to dry humping. Because he had that hump in his back. That just didn't go over well.
No, I didn't. I thought maybe you were. I thought maybe you were
leading to something, and then I just lost it.
Implying that dry humping, impregnates women with crazy fetal twin.
So how do they know it was a boy?
I think he's a man, that it's his twin, so they're just assuming that,
that it was a boy. But what if it was a fraternal twin?
I don't know, man. But there's some other funny stuff. His fellow villagers, because I never buy this stuff when villagers are so crazy that you're just like, they're just fucking with the person who's interviewing them. The fellow villagers were pissed off that they cut the thing off. I guess everybody likes a good, town freak. Some even surmise the object removed from Namyatov's body was an extraterrestrial organism.
So for like the past 35 years, this guy was like the butt of everyone's joke. Everyone's just like, okay, yeah, here comes the dude with the tumor in his back.
Yeah. Then they're all drunk on vodka, just ripping the guy like a new one every time he walks around.
Every bar he went into, it was just like, look at him. Look at Igor trying to score. Have you seen the hump in his back?
They shake his back when he's not looking, shake the little hand that sticks out. But yeah, and then the doctors come up and
what if we could give a reach around? I don't know.
That could be the mascot for Brandt.
That almost could be for the Reach Around Foundation.
Well, not anymore. I think they probably threw it in the trash.
The Reach Around Foundation probably has nothing to do with actual reach arounds. I don't even know. We'll have to find that out.
Do you think George W. Bush and Jeb Bush would have been like, you can't kill it. It's a fetal life.
Yeah, I wonder if Pat Robertson's like, you got to keep this alive. Because it's a fetal life. It's a real person.
I wish this would have happened in Florida.
But would that even be an abortion? I don't even know.
I guess it's probably technically dead.
Because, but it just been dead and just hanging out his back all that time.
For what, 35 years?
I wonder if it... So, God, it would be cool if it was living. It could actually hold stuff for you.
Well, yeah, then it'd be more like the movie. It could go attack people with a knife. You could carry it around in a little basket.
And have sex with chicks, remember? Mm-hmm. Didn't it, have sex with that chick in the monster in basket case?
Well, they did establish that it was a boy, I guess. They're calling it the little brother. So I wonder if it had working tackle.
Oh, God, dude.
I always wonder what this type of stuff smells like.
So, you mean what the tumor smelled like?
Well, no, it's not a tumor. It's a fetal twin.
Yeah, I guess it would be a fetal twin.
I do wonder what tumors smell like when they cut them out of you. But a dead, decaying fetal. I guess maybe.
Once again, this would never happen in America. This just could not happen here.
No.
I mean, we have. God.
You know why? Because we push that stuff under the rug right away.
Yeah.
We don't let some guy drive around driving his damn tractor for 35 years.
But I'm not saying we don't appreciate it.
If you're a freak, you need to be in the closet.
Yeah, but we appreciate a good freak, though. We put him on a sideshow. That guy would have been like in a traveling circus or something.
Yeah, I wonder why you'd think that would pay better than tractor operator. You'd think he would have just been like, leave it on, I'm going to be a circus freak and make some real money.
That guy must have just gotten really drunk. I could just imagine. So I wonder. So how's the village accepting him now that he doesn't have the embryo, the twin brother on his back?
Well, that's the thing about Russia. They just got to suck it up and like it. It's a command society. The higher ups say get back to work.
I mean, I guess if like the government or whatever is just like there's nothing wrong with that. Just let it go.
I'm sure they're pissed. I'm sure they're pissed, though. I mean, that's the whole reason that fellow villagers doubted the explanation given by the doctors.
Do you think he had a special seat on the tractor? Made just
with a big hole in the back?
With a big hole in the back.
Or maybe like one of those little baby Playmobiles that hangs off the back of the tractor.
Where his little brother can hang out?
Well, he can just look at it and be stimulated.
Yeah, I wonder what his mom felt. That must have kind of hurt coming out. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, don't you think so?
Yeah, probably.
A bumpy road.
Here's a part that I just noticed. I actually didn't even see before. The last line of the article: Igor Namyatov refused to leave the embryo at the hospital for further research.
You should have done that. It's just a boy.
I'm taking him home with me. You're not going to get him.
God, what did he do with it? Does it say?
No, I wish I knew. He probably gave it a nice burial in his field that he drives a tractor on.
I bet he carries it around in a backpack.
I bet you it's in a basket terrorizing the Russian countryside.
It probably is.
Malaya.
And they probably have like a Russian name for it, like Sputnik or something. They probably do.
Chechnev.
Or what was it? What's that Russian comedian guy?
What was the guy with the birthmark?
Yakov Smirnov.
Right.
Or Gorbachev. Little Gorbachev.
Right.
Little Gorby.
Little Gorby.
Oh, God, that's
Little
just
Gorby,
foul.
The fetus who wouldn't give up. He just kept it growing.
You know what's interesting about that? So the doctors at the hospital remove it. Do they just give that back to you? If you ask for it, like if you had a tumor growing out of like your balls and they cut it off. They cut it off. Can you be like, I want it back? They have to give it to you because it used to belong to you.
It's part of your. Well, I don't know. I don't think they do. I mean, I think they just throw that stuff out. I think you have to have some influence to get the doctors to save stuff for you. I wonder
if Igor just freaked out.
I feel like they just tell me like, screw you, just go pay your bill and go home. Quit fucking with us.
We're not giving you your tumor back, dick. God, that's just weird.
But he said he refused to leave it there, so he did something with it.
Well, he is obviously attached to it.
Sometimes these reporters, I just kind of get pissed off at them because, like,
everybody's asking that. Yeah.
Everybody's asking that question. What did he do with it?
There's so much to be surmised. That's the thing. They never actually go into detail with these articles.
What would you do with it?
What would I do with it?
Right.
I don't know.
I'd have the thing in a jar.
Neck fuck it. I bet you there's a hole. It'd be like a little pocket pussy.
That'd be a whole nother.
Would that be incestuous?
Yeah, that'd be a whole nother sick and wrong, child abuse story.
If only I was Russian. All the cool things I could do. I don't know. So what do you give that on the sick and wrong scale here?
That's pretty sick. I mean, I've heard these things before. The tumors that turn out to be like have teeth and hair and all that. Never feet and hands though. That's pretty developed.
Yeah, teeth and hair. This is like feet and hands. This is developing. This is like a growing embryo. I mean, this almost grew into a brother. This is twin brother.
And the fact that they knew he had this something in him for 20 years. It's usually those tumor stories. It's like somebody who's just gargantuously obese and they don't even know the person has a tumor, and then once they find out, then it's like a 50-pound ball of hair and teeth and everything. But this is like it's so funny just being in Russia and them just neglecting this guy and then finally being like, oh, it's a little person.
It's a little person. And they finally cut it off.
Right. And then you take it home.
God, that's pretty fucking sick and wrong.
It's sick and wrong. I think I'm going to give it 8.5.
8.5? You know what? I think
it could have been sicker.
Well, there's a couple key points in that. Number one, he's 35 years old, so he carried this thing for 35 years. Number two, he kept it. He brought it home with him from the hospital.
Yeah.
And number three, the villagers were pissed about it. So it's the whole that he got it removed. So I think the whole thing is pretty fucking sick. I would give it. I'm going to give it something pretty high. I'm going to give it like a 7.
You're an ass.
I'm going to give it a 7.
A 7 is not high. Okay.
If he had sex with it. If he had sex with it.
The points are just a method of keeping track because it's all about if my story is better than yours. So we'll see what yours gets.
Well, let's move on to my story here.
All right, good idea.
Once again, I just want to preface this by saying I had several good stories this week, and I want to narrow it down to one for time constraints here, and I think this is probably the best one. And this is, once again, something that I don't find funny. I find it sick, and I find it wrong. I don't find it funny.
I bet you I'll think it's funny.
Well, it shouldn't be funny, but it is funny. And I think just the circumstances are funny, not what occurred. Okay, I just want to preface this. All right, so this happened in, I think it was Lyndonville, Illinois, is where this happened. And teen who pled no contest to animal abuse charges previously was just recently charged with a New Year's Day rape of a 17-year-old girl. So, yeah, this is actually serious. It's dealing with rape. So, Lyndonville
Can you say the ages again? I'm sorry.
The 17-year-old girl was raped by an 18-year-old man. So, a Lyndonville teenager who pled no contest last week, this just happened last week, to sodomizing a dog in 2004 was just recently arraigned on allegations that he sexually assaulted a 17-year-old girl on New Year's Day. So, he's kind of moving up. He's like moving up in the species. Yeah. So, he went from dog sodomy to now raping girls. So Jeff Plord, P-L-O-U-R-D-E, 18, he pled not guilty to the sexual assault, but he did plead no contest to the sodomy, the dog sodomy. So he pled not guilty to sexual assault, domestic assault, and violation of probation, because I think he was on probation for the dog sodomy, at an afternoon hearing last week. What ended up happening, according to an affidavit, Plord and a friend, which I find kind of funny that he actually hung out with a friend, because if I had a friend who fucked a dog, I think I'd stop hanging out with him. If I don't know about you. I'd never let him around my dog. No, but I mean, seriously, if you had a friend that everyone kind of got around high school that he had fucked a dog, would that be the end of the friendship?
Well, I mean, this is the case of, you're just reading the article. You don't know what this friend is into.
Yeah, maybe it was a menage a trois.
Well, no, maybe the friend's into something that we'll have a story about next week, and you'll be like, how can anybody be this guy's friend?
Yeah, I don't know. So, anyways, I guess Jeff Plord and his friend Chris Stark twice forced a girl, the 17-year-old girl, to engage in sex acts with them after the three smoked marijuana at the dog fucker's home in Lyndonville, Illinois. Apparently, what happened is so they had not filed charges with the sexual assault right now. So right now he's being charged with unrelated burglary, petty larceny, and probation violation charges for the dog fucking incident which occurred in 2004. But according to the girl, in an account of the sexual assaults that she provided police, before the assaults happened, the two guys told her that we're going to have sex with you. She disagreed, and then the dog fucker told her to shut up or we're going to rape you. So he just pretty much said it. So I guess this all occurred, and then they'd all decided to go smoke some marijuana. So before the smoking of the marijuana, they had discussed the raping of the girl. But the girl's like, you know what? I'm not going to leave. I'm not going home now. Let's just smoke some weed and then find out what happens. So I guess the weed must have been pretty good because the girl passed out after smoking the marijuana, woke up to find both guys on top of her sexually assaulting her. She told police that when she began to scream, the guy put his hand over her mouth. She got up, formed herself into a little ball, started to tremble, started crying, and then she had consensual sex with the dog fucker, but not with the other guy. So I guess it would still be considered rape. Maybe.
This story is sick and wrong, but it confuses me.
It's confusing because there's so much happened, but I haven't even got to the good part yet. So the girl was told that she was going to be raped. Then she was like, let's smoke marijuana. Passed out, woke up, and the two guys were sexually assaulting her. Then she was like, she formed herself into a little ball and started crying and was like, okay.
Well, she went into the fetal position.
The fetal, but
not the fetal tumor position.
I mean, is that what you're supposed to do when you're getting raped? Get into a ball?
I haven't read my rape manual lately.
Yeah,
isn't there a whistle involved? Are you supposed to have a whistle?
I thought you were supposed to whistle. I didn't realize you're supposed to just roll up into a ball and tremble.
And then just have consensual sex.
I don't know. So I guess then she ended up having consensual sex. So she had sex with the dog fucker, but not with his friend after the assaults. Now, here's the best part of the article. This is my favorite part of the article. The girl told police that after the consensual sex, the dog fucker, Chris Plord, became angry with her because he discovered that she took 2 of his cigarettes. He then choked her, slapped her, put her in a headlock, and dragged her around the house. Like across through the living room.
So this is like a pretty big guy, it sounds like. He's like overpowering dog. I want to know what kind of dog it was. Was it like a big breed or like a small breed?
I don't know. So I guess he's not only charged with rape, with sexual assault, but he's also charged with physical assault because he headlocked her and just kind of dragged her around the room.
What about smoking the chronic?
Yeah,
that's illegal too.
They didn't even say anything. Wouldn't that be a probation violation?
It knocked that bitch out. That'd be some good weed.
God, she passed out right afterwards. So I guess last year, just getting into a little background on this guy, he was charged with aggravated animal cruelty after police claimed he was bragging to all of his friends about how he and a friend sodomized his neighbor's dog by shoving something up its rectum.
His penis.
Well, isn't it just kind of funny that this dude was cruising around just being like, hey, man, guess what we did last Saturday? We shoved our dicks up this dog's rectum. We sure got him.
Rectum? He nearly killed him.
Well, actually, he did kill him. A veterinarian later confirmed that the dog's tail had been separated from its backbone by 6 inches. The dog named Casey had to be euthanized because of its injuries.
I'm never going to use that joke again.
I know. It's like rectum and nearly...
It's not funny anymore after hearing that.
But, this article's just not funny. It's so sick. It's just not funny. But what's weird about it, so this dude raped his neighbor's dog, and it had to be euthanized, but the kid still lived next door to his neighbor.
Oh, God. Wouldn't you?
What would you do?
I mean, I'd run the kid over. When he was walking to school, I'd be like, oops, I wasn't looking.
I think I would go over there with a baseball bat.
Right.
I mean, I would be so pissed. I mean, this dog was like a 14-year-old dog.
The kid would need to file a restraining order against me, which I would violate, and then I would be in jail.
It's just so atrocious that someone would even do this, and just so, like, malicious. I mean, this dog's 14 years old. This dog had lived a long life for a dog. And so what finally kills it? Some teenager fucking it up the ass.
So what? Every dog year is like 7 years. So what? 70 times plus 28. It's like
it was an old fucking
98-year-old dog.
Well, dude, I mean, what I don't get about it, how did the tail become separated from the backbone?
Maybe the guy's really hung.
I don't even know. But it's kind of funny too, the fact that the guy went around bragging about it to his friends, and then police found out about it.
Was it a male dog or a female dog?
Casey, it's kind of one of those gender-neutral names. Yeah, like those androgynous names. I don't even know.
But he did say he violated its rectum, right? That was the...
Yeah, he said he sodomized a neighbor's dog, saying that he shoved something up its rectum. He might not even shoved his member up its rectum. He might have shoved like a broomstick or something.
Either way, the NYPD? Oh, no, that's a plunger.
Yeah, that was a plunger. But, I mean, okay, so look, put yourself in high school with this guy... And you're sitting there, like, smoking some weed, and he's like, so, dude, we shoved something up this dog's rectum.
I'm picturing, this is one of those freakish freaks of nature, like he's 18, and he's probably, like, 250-pound, huge dude. And that's why everybody was just, all these people in his high school would be smoking weed with him.
Because were they scared? Because they didn't want to say anything, so he's the
type of kid that comes over when everybody's smoking pot, like behind the school, and everybody gets really uncomfortable and isn't happy that he's there, but nobody will say anything because they're scared shitless of him.
Because he's just this big guy.
And he's just kind of like touched in the head,
But what was his motivation about this? Is he going to be like, you know what, everyone's going to think I'm pretty fucking cool, or I'm going to think I'm hard, badass?
Yeah, he's just delusional. He doesn't know what appropriate behavior is.
I wonder how badass he's going to think he is when he's in prison next year, having this done to him. Don't you think?
I don't think he's going to like it.
Dude, I mean, he's 18, so he's obviously going to go to like whatever the state pen is in Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, he's not going to get off. He, like, raped this girl. But I wonder it's because she did have consensual sex with him, too, which is also kind of weird. That's pretty fucked up. That this girl, knowing he was a dog fucker, knowing that she had just been sexually assaulted and threatened with rape, was like, all right, let's just have sex.
I wonder if he has the same lawyer for both cases. Because either way, if you were the lawyer for the dog thing and then he was involved in this rape, you're just like, what the hell do I do now? And,
I know. It's just like...
And if you're the lawyer for the rape and, I think a standard defense is this is a good kid, this is the first thing he's done, but then you're like, oh, and he also sodomized the dog. But before that, he didn't do anything bad.
But, it's like you can see that lawyer. It's like, you know what, I got this journey swayed here. It's like, oh, well, one thing I forgot. Yeah, he did fuck a dog last year. And the dog died.
Maybe he's employing Seymour Schwartz from last week's
Seymour
podcast.
Schwartz from the last, hopefully not.
He likes to defend hopeless cases.
And lose them.
Right.
But no, I wonder like what's going to happen to this guy. It's weird. You wonder like, actually, you know what? I was saying it was in Illinois this whole time. I just realized that it was in Vermont.
Oh, Vermont.
Isn't that legal in Vermont?
They're pretty liberal out there.
Well, no, bestiality is still legal in some states. I don't know if it is Vermont. I think it's in the South, like Florida.
I cannot confirm that fact. I don't know where you got that.
No, I've read that bestiality just recently has became illegal in like some states.
I don't know, but all I know is they're all hopped up on Ben and Jerry's out there. They just do a lot of crazy stuff.
Well, all in all, I just, I wonder about the youth of today. Because when I was 18, this was the furthest thing from my mind. I was into drinking beer with the friends, going and like seeing a Lenny Kravitz concert or something. But fucking a dog and then raping some girl never happened.
No, it didn't.
I mean, I didn't even know anyone in my high school that did anything like this.
So far as we know.
I mean, did you know anyone in your high school that did this? Fuck the dog.
No, not that particularly.
And I'm sorry, even if this guy was 450 pounds and, could punch as hard as Mike Tyson, if he said, yeah, I fucked a dog last week, I'd be like, okay, I'm not hanging out with you. And I'm not smoking weed with you either, you dog fucker. That's all I have to say about this.
We need more people like you, Dave. Stand up guys.
You know what it is? Fight for morality here.
Right.
That's all about.
And then pass the ball.
You know who I blame this on? I blame this on Marilyn Manson.
I blame it on him, too.
I blame it on Marilyn Manson.
Yep.
And Rush Limbaugh.
Both I don't know
why.
Them.
Yeah, both of them together made this happen. So on the sick and wrong scale, just because I think it's pretty sick that he raped this girl, and then he dragged her around the room in a headlock because she took the 2 cigarettes, and then also the fact that he was bragging about fucking a dog, I'm going to have to give this an 8.
I think because there's really very little humor in that story, it's just kind of more depressing than anything.
But how wrong is it?
It's very wrong.
And how sick?
It's very sick.
Yeah, see?
But I did not enjoy talking about it, and I'm not going to enjoy thinking about it after the podcast. And I think basically...
But you will probably enjoy masturbating to it.
I'm not going to discuss my masturbation fantasies with you, but I think what you just did is the equivalent of shoving your finger in my butt.
I guess it would be
a little bit. All I'm saying is a little bit of warning.
The literary equivalent.
A little bit of warning next time, and lube on the story.
Okay.
Get
ease into it.
Just funny the shit up, okay?
Well, dude, I mean, this story is sick and repulsive, and I was disgusted by it. I read it today this afternoon, and I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with America?
They smoke weed, sodomize dogs, and then rape women.
Women.
That's exactly what's wrong with the youth of today.
God. I hope this kid's taught a lesson in prison. That's all I have to say about it. So, what do you give it?
I'm going to have to give it a 7.1.
A 7.1.
But I gave my story an 8.5. So I think we're kind of at a deadlock here.
Kind of in a deadlock, but I think I'm almost willing to concede. Because mine wasn't funny.
No.
It wasn't that funny.
It just depressed me.
It was fucking sick and wrong, though.
It was sick and wrong.
I don't know if it's as sick as an embryo, a 35-year-old twin brother growing out of someone's back.
Right. Just hanging out back there.
With arms. And little teeth. And little balls, probably.
Probably. We can only assume. They probably hadn't dropped yet. They probably were really, like, the size of peas.
I almost want to throw this out to the audience. If the 2 people that are listening in their mother's basement right now, send us an email, sickandwrongpodcast@hotmail.com, and let us know what you find sicker, embryo, a twin brother growing out of a 35-year-old man's back, or dog fucking and raping young girls. I don't know. I'm willing to concede, though. I think this week I concede that Lance Wackerly found the most disgusting article of the week.
So as far as our running tally, we're on podcast 2, and we're
podcast 2.
It's the score is 1-1.
1-1, yeah. Well, make sure you tune in to next week's podcast, where we find more equally disgusting and vile things to talk about. That's what I like about this art. It's antisocial commentary at its finest, because no one really wants to hear this. No one wants to read it.
With stories like that, I'm going to start to not look forward to actually doing it, because it's just, I'm kind of disgusted right now.
It's just so foul. It's just so foul.
I guess that's the point, and people know what they're getting into, but damn.
When they download this show, seriously, it's just like a whole new level of just disgusting.
Right.
They definitely.
But I hope you all come back for next week's.
Yeah, next week's podcast number 3 in a series of 392. Check out our website, sickandwrong.blaringfoghorn.com. And always email us, sickandwrongpodcast@hotmail.com. And I'd like to thank the Reach Around Foundation for putting the show on.
Thank you. Thank you, Dave.
And thank you, Lance.
Not really, though.
Yeah, well, fuck off.
I'm going to go puke.
All right. Good night.
Bye.